What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on this channel, obviously, we cover a lot of things between commentaries, live gameplays, comparisons, but at the same time, we also do cover conspiracy theories. Obviously, things that aren't necessarily true, but, if you really think about it hard enough, you could see a few things that are going on that might lead to some real proof of what is going on behind the scenes. And today, I kind of wanted to go ahead and discuss the conspiracy theory of Call of Duty, or maybe the developers or Activision, whoever you want to go ahead and, obviously prioritize. I want to discuss with you guys why I think that they actually are truthfully scared of Xdefiant. When Xdefiant went ahead and released their betas, both the closed and the open, and went ahead and, gave us the communication that they gave us over on Twitter, I really do think that that sparked something behind the scenes that obviously did not get officially, posted. Nothing was ever said that they were worried about Xdefiant or what's happening. Clearly, they would never do such a thing, but something, deep down really makes me think that they did get intimidated by this game. And of course, we're going to go ahead, cover all the facts, all the things that are making me think this way. And of course, as I always love, I would greatly appreciate you guys to go down in the comment section and leave your opinions about how you feel about all these overall topics, and leave a sub and hit that bell if you want to be notified for more content just like this. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right back into it. So, Xdefiant, when it first dropped in the closed beta, it was, I don't want to say an unknown title, but let's be real here. Xdefiant got a lot of crap when it first got revealed. It was supposed to be the Call of Duty killer, but when it first got initially released, it just simply ran into tons of problems. Not only did the Call of Duty community just completely neglect it and not give a crap about what they were trying to bring to the table, but at the same time, a lot of the Tom Clancy fan lovers, people who love those style of games, were pissed off that they had the name Tom Clancy in a title that basically they represent it obviously with the characters, the factions, the maps, but when it comes to gameplay, it's everything but a tactical, more realistic experience. So, you had both sides of the fan base absolutely pissed off at this game. You had the Call of Duty community saying it looks like trash, and you have the Tom Clancy community saying it's not tactical enough. Why does it have Tom Clancy in the name? It had a really rough time. But then came the closed beta, and it blew up with popularity. Now, keep in mind, obviously, Call of Duty was going through a very rough patch when the closed beta first came out, and the open beta. But at the end of the day, what happened to this game would definitely make me shiver in my boots personally if I was, trying to make sure Call of Duty stays on top. And I do want to make it very clear that I'm not stating Call of Duty is going to get completely removed off the map from Xdefiant. Nobody in the world will ever purchase a Call of Duty game ever again. No, I guarantee Call of Duty will still top the charts, so it will be the most sold game, so on. So what it does every single year. But what Xdefiant is, it's fantastic competition that will force Call of Duty to no longer run a monopoly on the arcade arena genre, meaning that potentially in the future we could see some very good changes that would make a lot of people happy. And that is what we're seeing right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the closed beta pulled in 1 million plus individuals. The closed beta. We're not talking about the open beta. We're talking about the closed beta that was only for PC. The open beta, more, because it included both console and PC, and it was open to the frickin' public. The numbers that Xdefiant ran through were just ridiculous. And on top of that, the communication behind the scenes was phenomenal. Again, this was, something that we never knew was going to happen. When we first saw Xdefiant, the reason it got so much crap is because we only saw a little snippet of it. Didn't really impress that many people. But after getting hands-on playing the game, seeing the true potential that this has to take over Call of Duty, I believe they removed the Tom Clancy name off of this title, and now it's just Xdefiant, which is much better because now they're basically directly saying that they want this to be an arcade arena shooter. They're not going to try to, leech off of the Tom Clancy name. They want this to be competition in the, Call of Duty realm. But after making all of these changes and providing good gameplay, they weren't playing around. They really wanted to nail the arcadiness of this game, and they did it perfectly. They brought in tons of Call of Duty players behind the scenes, actually talked to them, discussed stuff with them, got feedback from them, and then also at the same time got feedback from the overall community. If you go onto Twitter, the developers will literally respond to pretty much everybody out there. And I'm not talking about being a massive name. It doesn't matter how big you are, how much of a following you have. You can have one follower on Twitter and they will respond to you because they care about their community. They care. And all of these things together just gave this game a massive just backing. It has so much support. And even the people who despise Xdefiant, they don't even care for it that much. They respect it because the developers respect us. And they also are very open on what they want this game to be. It's no mystery to anybody out there. So even if people don't like it, they could still respect it compared to COD, where nobody respects it because we don't know anything. Over half the stuff we see will probably be changed. They don't take any feedback. They don't listen to anything. It's a disaster, which is why it gets the feedback that it gets every single year. But think about this. During the closed beta and the open beta, the whole time, that is when Call of Duty started to come out and ask questions. Literal polls, like after game. Like if you finished a match of Modern Warfare 2, it would pop up a little poll saying, okay, did you enjoy the time to kill? Did you enjoy the movement? And it would list all different things that we have been begging for ages now that they would neglect, they would never even respond to. But after Xdefiant and after listening to us and taking all the feedback we've been begging for and putting it in their game, out of the blue, they start putting out polls saying, maybe our information is quite possibly wrong. Let's start asking the community to see what they want. And then fast forward to the real reveal of Modern Warfare 3, not just, them, contemplating what's going on and putting out little polls on Modern Warfare 2. Now we're in the real reveal of Modern Warfare 3. All of their marketing material is stuff that they refused to fix with Modern Warfare 2, but they're going to bring it back now. Stuff that Xdefiant basically fixed before they could even get any of this information out from Modern Warfare 3. Things like working minimaps, perks, not something to Xdefiant, but for Call of Duty. They're mentioning the perks coming back to normal, dead silence. They're mentioning, better, movement and stuff of that sorts. They're nailing everything that we've been begging for throughout the whole time that they have ignored. Again, it might be nothing, but I really do think that Xdefiant put a little bit of fear in their hearts. I truthfully think so. They got the player count to back it up, and they had the resources to back it up as well. This isn't an indie developed game, it's a AAA game, and they have a lot of people who are waiting on this game to drop. Activision saw this, in my personal opinion. That's why I'm thinking they saw this. And now we're getting more communication, more feedback, more changes, more fixes. And it's to the point where, like I said, the whole new game, the whole marketing, they're not marketing the game by showcasing cool trailer. No, they're marketing the game by showcasing features that were not in the previous game and now they're being reintroduced. That's the whole marketing scheme for Modern Warfare 3. Look, guys, you can think what you want, but I truthfully really do think that Call of Duty is getting a little scared here. And it's all due to Xdefiant. It might not be true because, again, this is all a conspiracy theory. But I think it's way too convenient that during both the closed and open beta of Xdefiant, there were tons of polls asking questions of things that Xdefiant literally already fixed, and they're asking it now in poll form on Modern Warfare 2 during that time period. And then after Xdefiant closes up, you can't play Xdefiant anymore, and now the Modern Warfare 3 reveal comes out. They're spamming all of this stuff, and they're also giving better communication as well. It's crazy because I truthfully don't think AAA devs understand this right now. They used to, but they don't anymore. But really, communication with your community can go an extremely long way. We see it all the time. Games like BattleBit popping off, and all these other indie developed projects going absolutely bonkers. Even AAA games that live up to what their game is known for, what it's all about, and they're thriving on as well. Right? You see it time and time and time again, yet we get egoed in these other games like Battlefield, for example, Call of Duty, all these other franchises that we love. I don't know if you guys love them. I love them personally, but all these other franchises, we've been getting screwed over year and year and year. Like, their ego always comes first, and then they worry about fixing up the game afterwards. And with Call of Duty, they don't even bother trying to fix it up because the game's only here for a year, so they usually just let it die out. You can see Modern Warfare 2 right now. I mean, the minimap bug is still not even fixed yet. That bug is horrible, horrendous, and it's still not fixed till this current date. But I really do think that they're finally noticing. Now, I don't think that we're going to get an overall fix to Modern Warfare 3, but I think that as long as Xdefiant is, here as competition, we will see better things coming out of Call of Duty. Not, obviously, huge changes. Like, skill-based matchmaking is still going to be a massive factor that's never going to be probably arranged when it comes to COD. I don't see that happening anytime in the near future. But, things like listening to feedback, that's a good step in the right direction, and they did a ton of that in Modern Warfare 3. And again, I'm not saying, yes, this is the best game, it's worth the $70 for DLC. I'm not saying any of this stuff, but it's a step in the right direction. We've been ignored year and year and year and year. All of our feedback goes nowhere. We never see any changes within the games. And then out of nowhere, once Xdefiant drops, we're seeing tons of changes, tons of things the community wants, Because we always used to think that our voices were the minority. We don't mean anything. What we say doesn't matter. There's millions of casuals out there who will gladly buy into the game, and that's who's going to help the game thrive on. And then now, for some strange reason, our voices matter. Everything that we've talked about and complained about, things that they've had stats behind the scenes that apparently, prove that what we're saying is false and it doesn't matter, it's irrelevant. Now, all of a sudden, it matters. It's because they got competition. And there's finally a game that a mass majority of people will willingly leave to go to and ditch COD, which means less microtransaction money, less sales, all of the above. And, honestly, it could all be wrong, but this is just how I'm feeling. This is the conspiracy theory, ladies and gentlemen. I really do think that Xdefiant has Call of Duty partially shivering in their boots. Not enough that, it's going to be, like Xdefiant is going to take down COD, but we have some real competition, and I think Activision acknowledges that. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, that finishes up the video. Leave your opinions down in the comment section if you think I'm absolutely crazy, or do you think, that I'm right? And that, Xdefiant is the cause of all of these changes happening with Modern Warfare 3. I don't know. Sledgehammer has listened in the past, just like with Vanguard, they made a few changes and stuff like that. But even then, they didn't want to fix the minimap. Remember? They didn't fix the minimap. They just added in a perk that would allow the minimap to work correctly. So they still made slight workarounds because they wanted to keep it the way that it is. Now we're getting everything down to the T. Slide canceling, mini-maps, 1010% they're going to function. Movement, everything that we have said sucks, they're actually working on. We've never seen that before. So I think it's a little something extra, but obviously I'd love to hear your opinions down below. But as always, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, leave a dislike if you hated it. Subscribe and hit that bell if you want to hear more content revolving around Call of Duty or even Xdefiant. We do commentaries, live gameplays, comparisons, conspiracies, all of the above. And as always, we do stream every day, besides Sundays, over on Kick. If you guys want to check that out, the link to that channel, along with other things like Twitter, Discord, all that stuff, are down in the description of this video. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.